Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a very special one. We're going to talk about the new liquid blushes from Glaminatrix Cosmetics. They sent me this in PR. I'm very grateful and very happy with this. Spoiler alert. I have 5 shades with me, and that I think that is the whole range of the blushes. So we're going to apply this on our face, do live swatches on the wrist so you can see how it appears on a medium tan skin tone. So if you're ready, let's begin. These blushes will launch on March 3rd, and let me tell you the details. Individually, each liquid blush would retail for 25 Australian dollars, or if you convert it in USD, it is going to be 16.32. But if you want a bundle of all 5 together, then it'll be 100 Australian dollars, and that would come out to be 65 USD. So I would let you be the judge of yourself that which shades you want, or you want to collect the entire bundle. These blushes, let me tell you, it's very liquidy, it's very pigmented. So I feel like all these shades would appear on your skin tone no matter what skin tone you are. I don't know how universally flattering it's gonna be, but you'll definitely find your shade in this 5 collection, because I feel like the range was really good. Especially if you love a nude blush, you will absolutely love this. Now I cannot wait to see how they're going to expand this line and make like more colorful blushes. A purple blush would be amazing. Orangey yellow blush would be amazing too. Let's dive into the live swatches. I really am excited about this. I do have a code with Glaminatrix Cosmetics. It is Smithy Sony to save you 10% off. So if you want to save some dollars off, use my code and that will be really good. Thank you so much if you're using my code. Let me first show you the bottle and the packaging. It's a very sleek packaging. It's a frosted glass bottle, and with that golden rim, it looks very elegant, and the shade names are written on the back. And you can definitely see the shades through the glass bottle too, as you can see. You definitely can see the difference in the shades through the bottle. I really love that aspect of it. Okay, let's move on to the shades and let me swatch it on my hand. The first shade is the shade Petal, and you can see how it applies. Let me do it like this. And I'll do like a bigger swatch so that you can see the shades. So that is the shade Petal, and Petal is described as more of a pinky peach shade, which I feel like it's pretty apt. Now let me show you Petal like swatched out, because definitely no one is moving around with that kind of a swatch on the face. So that was like one dot, and that is Petal swatched out. So you can see how beautiful, elegant it looks. It's a very everyday kind of a shade. I really love. If you like a peachy pink kind of a shade, you'll absolutely love it. Let me also tell you, this definitely has like a very skin-like glow on the face too. It doesn't appear like flat matte on the skin, and it wears for the entire day. I've worn several of these shades to office and they absolutely last the entire day on me. Okay, let's move on to the next shade. The next shade is Gentle. I love this shade Gentle for my everyday. I particularly, you know me, I love to wear pinks and mauves on my eyes with purpley tones. That's like my comfort zone, and this shade just goes absolutely perfect with everything. Gentle is described as a pinky mauve shade, and that's exactly what it is. So let me swatch this. There you go. And we'll also swatch it. First, let me show you. So that's the shade Gentle. Again, more of a pinky mauve shade, as you can see, as compared to the peachiness that's coming in the first shade Petal. So let me swatch this for you. And you can blend it with your fingers, with brush. It absolutely doesn't streak or anything. It's beautiful. And now you can see Gentle applied on my face. I really love this shade. I absolutely a fan favorite, I would say, at least for me. Okay, let's move on to the next shade. The next shade is called Poppy, and this is a very punchy shade. Poppy is described as a bright reddish strawberry pink shade. So let me swatch that for you. Definitely a deeper skin tone friendly shade, but I mean, whatever skin tone you are, I feel like you can wear all the 5 shades no matter what, because it's that pigmented. So that's the shade Poppy. Oh, let me show you swatched. And this can get out of control super quick. So I'm gonna just apply a tad bit. You can see how much I applied. There you go. And let me swatch it for you. A very strawberry pink shade. Really, really pretty. And that's how it'll look all blended out. Really pretty. Okay, let's move on to the next shade. The next shade is shade Lavish. This is also one of my favorite shades in the collection. I really love this for my neutral looks. I really, really love it. Definitely another favorite from my collection. And let me swatch it here so that you can see it blended. Again, that is the shade Lavish. Definitely a favorite, okay? So let me show you blended out. A very, very neutral shade. Like my favorite for every day. Look at that. It's stunning. The Lavish shade was described as a pinky brown shade. Now let's move on to the last shade. And the last shade, Sunny, is defined as a neon pastel coral shade. And it is definitely a neon shade. But you can definitely make it work if you're going with like a light layer. So that is the shade Sunny. And let me show you it all blended out. There you go. So that's the shade Sunny. So let me show you everything all together so that you can see it in action. My favorite, now that I've applied it on my face as well as in the swatch, my favorite definitely would be Gentle and Lavish, these two shades. But again, it's a personal preference. I love all of them and I can wear all of them. That's for sure. I just need to be a little careful with this shade Poppy. But now let me show you how everything applies on my face and then let's do the final thoughts. Okay, now let's start off with the shade Lavish. I'm gonna go to Office. So I feel like with this top, this shade would absolutely go well. So we're gonna apply that right there. If you want, we can build it up. But for now, I'm just gonna start right there. And such a beautiful, everyday, earthy shade. And you have time to like play with it. It doesn't set super quickly. Really pretty. And that's like a light layer of Lavish. As you can see, I do not have any highlighter or anything on. And you can see this is the perfect bronzer blush shade. I love this one. I'm gonna apply a second layer. And if it is too much, we'll just powder over it. I just want you guys to see the shade. Right there. And that's the shade Lavish. Now let's move on to the next shade. Okay, next let's start off with this shade, and this is called Poppy. It looks like a punchy pink shade. So I'm gonna apply that here on this side of the face so that you can see it in action. Look at that. The pigmentation is real, okay? I'm assuming that this would definitely work on like deeper skin tones. So let's start blending. Ooh, that is pigment. And I do not have anything else on my face. Just a little bit of a foundation. I'm gonna calm it down. So go with like a very light amount, especially if you are lighter than me. But this gives a good flush on your face. There you go. I'm just gonna take my foundation brush just to melt the edges. Just so that the edges are smooth. Just right there. So that was the shade Poppy. Now let's move on to the other cheek and let's try the shade Sunny. Sunny also looks a lot peachy. The shade Poppy was like a punchy coral shade. Okay, this is definitely much more peachy. Again, the shade Sunny. Let me just wipe off the brush. And then you do have like a give with these products. Yeah, definitely much softer, but still pigmented, okay? And that's like with a very light layer. So you can see this is definitely more like pinky, more like coral pink. And this is more like orangey, peachy shade. So again, this is the shade Sunny. Now let's move on to the next two shades. Now let's move on to the last two shades. The next shade we are going to try is called Gentle. And this I've worn before and it is such a beautiful everyday shade. It's like my kind of like a mauvey pink shade. For an everyday, this is perfect. Especially if you love to wear like cooler tones. Actually, it's a very neutral shade. Let me show it to you. Looks super light, but for an everyday, I mean, it gives the flush that you need. It gives a very great amount of like freshness to the skin. Can you see that? I love it. I love how glowy it is too. It's not like glowy. It's not like glittery or like on your face. It looks very much like your skin. Really, really pretty. So that's one layer of Gentle. Let me just build it up a tad bit more. There you go. Look at that shade. So pretty. So pretty. So pretty. Okay. So this is the shade Gentle. I really, really love how beautiful. It's like, it's a mauvey pink, but it is so muted. It's not like, it's a very neutral, muted pink. That's what it is. Okay, let's move on to the last shade. And the last shade that we're going to try is the shade Petal. And I feel like this is definitely the lightest of the lot, but this also looks like a peachy shade. But again, a muted peach, I would say. I feel like this would be really, really amazing on fair skin tones, but this is the first time I'm applying it on my face. Let's see how it appears on a medium skin. So let me just wipe off my brush and let's go over this. That is quite some pigment. I really thought that this would be not even show up on me, but that's a good pigmentation. That's amazing. Ooh, it's a very muted pale pink shade. Very, very pretty. That is the shade Petal. I didn't even have to go with a second layer. Really, really pretty. Now, once you've seen all the swatches on my face as well as on my hands, do let me know in the comment section below, out of these 5 shades, what are you most excited for? My code is SMITHYSONY to save you 10% off, and it is available on the Glaminatrix website, right? So if you were purchasing with my code, I thank you very, very much. But yes, I am super, super excited. This definitely would be on the constant rotation in my stash for sure. I absolutely loved the formula. I'm definitely giving it a 2 thumbs up from my side. But that's all for today, guys. If you did like this video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.